Okay, in this video I will show how to take two files, one a table or a spreadsheet of point data already with latitude and longitude geocoded, combine that with a shapefile or KML file. Well, let's get a new project going here. That has lines that we need to turn into polygons. Combine those two with the ultimate goal of bringing the polygon labels over to the point layer so that we have the location or the label of the polygons that the point lies within. So to do that, first we open QGIS, and then we'll need a couple plugins for this. And go to Manage and Install Plugins. Now, I already have these installed, but I will show where to get them. MMQGIS is the first, and then QGIS. So you would select Install, and then KML Tools. Tools is the other. You would click Install and then go from there. Now we'll flip over to the files themselves. So the XLSX needs to be saved as a CSV for this to work. So we'll just pick whichever, it doesn't matter where you want it, desktop. But with CSV, UTF-8 is good. Give it a name, save it. I already did that. Right there. KML file we'll do all our manipulation within QGIS. Since this window is open, we could actually just drag it in. Select the layer with all the features. Okay. And then here's the other way to add a layer. We're going to add our delimited text layer here. This is going to be the CSV, but you could have done the KML here as well by way of vector. But we're adding delimited text. Let's go select that. That's the one we just had saved. Open. All the defaults are good. You can see that it's picking up the proper geofields. So add it. Close. Now we have our two files that we're going to be working with. So the first part is the shapefile. If we look at the attributes, we will see that the number we want, the ID, is embedded within this HTML block. It was formatted for a table, an HTML table, but we just want that number. And to do that, we have to use one of our plugins to pull that and create a new field with just that. So we'll go to, this is the KML Tools, and it put these two icons on our toolbar. If you didn't see those, if you go back to the Manage and Install, it would be this unchecked. So watch when I check it. Okay, they're there, in case they're not. So we'll use the expand HTML description field. Here we'll choose the input layer as the shapefile with the KML, and it's already selected. The description field, it knew that's the field we wanted. You can, again, that's we know which that is by, here's the description fields. That's the one that's the one we need. To expand the description fields, I'll leave that as is. The output layer name doesn't really matter at this point, but we'll just leave it. So this will create. First we have to select the column we want to focus on here, and click OK. All right, so it created a new layer. So we're sort of done with the original. We just turn it off, turn it on, and turn it off. This is showing it as a temporary layer, but we can work with these temporary layers. unless we want to save this particular file as a project to work on in the future. But for now, we're going to do everything. We're just going to leave it. We're going to kind of do it quick, leave it as the temporary layers. Okay, so the next step is convert the KML to a polygon. Okay, so it's our new KML layer that we're focusing on is already there, or already selected. And then we're going to do geometry tools, vector geometry tools, lines to polygons. And we're gonna, it already has the layer we want selected. It's going to create a new temporary layer. We're not going to name it or anything. We're just going to go with whatever it gives us. And done. I named it polygons very appropriately. So now we're done with that prior one. So we've transformed this shapefile layer for the third time now. And our next step is to do a join between these two to get what we need. So for that, we're going to use vector, database, data management tools, join attributes by location. So the input layer is the point. We want that to be the point layer because that's going to be appended to. So that's there. You can kind of, by way of the symbols, it kind of tells you what the layer types are, so it helps you out there. The join layer is going to be polygons, the newest polygons. Then we'll do, just to make sure we get everything intersects, contains, within, and overlaps. And the field to add, this is important for what we're doing here. This we want to bring over that object TM-OBJ, which is the ID field for the polygons. Okay. Just let it do temporary file, temporary layer again, and run. Okay, finished. Now the join layer, now we can go look at the attribute table of the join layer. It's the point data, and now it has the object ID associated from the shapefile layer, or blank if it's not within that shapefile, like we described, like we told it to earlier. And just to do a quick validation, we select the identify. We'll look, zoom in real close. This one should have no label, and let's find one that, okay, here's a bunch that are, this one should have, that has the 878, and we'll quickly just double check 878. That's where we're at. 878 is the polygon, so that point within that polygon now has the label 878. Alright, so everything looks good. The joined layer is now our good combined, has what we need data layer. So next we'll go into a final step, MMQGIS, and export attributes, attribute export to CSV. The joined layer is what is now the combined. We can select all the attributes, and then you just save it into wherever you want to save it, and it's now a new CSV with both the points, the original points. You just click apply original points, and then the associated polygon that they lie within. And if you want to work with this, get a more spatial or visual representation here. This is just these are real geometries, in real locations in space, but we can't place them since we don't have a base map layer. It wasn't not necessary, but if you want to get a good idea of how this looks, let's get that on the bottom. So now we know we can do a satellite layer or just a vector layer like this. But we can see where they're at. We can so you can work with them. I think we've probably got a satellite layer in here. Let's see what Google Satellite looks like. Okay, so you can see where these are in a field. Okay, and that's that. That part is not necessary unless you want to work with it a little more within QGIS to get a better idea of where things are or how they look in close to reality. Well, that's all.